Oh, well, hello, everybody. So, Mary took me to see Bill Burr last night in Columbus at the Schottenstein Center for my birthday. And going into it, I had some concerns about seeing stand up in a arena. I had never done that before. I'd even passed on it in the past. Just because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. You even going to be able to hear them? I just figured it'd be just like a loud, crazy crowd and people would be yelling and talking and laughing, and you'd never really be able to hear the comedian. Well, that was not the case at all. It was definitely not like a wild, crazy crowd. It was almost like a lame, like really laid back, chill crowd. I don't know what the deal was, man. I don't know if everybody went to dinner and they were just like stuffed and ready for a nap or what. But and then on top of that, so the crowd was kind of chill and the laughs, there people were laughing, but it wasn't just like uncontrollable laughter, everybody around you. Like a lot of stuff just wasn't even getting laughs. And then the audio, even if that was the case, I mean they were prepared for total just a bananas atmosphere because it was so loud. It was so loud at some points I would like turn away from the speakers and cover my right ear. And to open the show, they played a trailer, and it was hard to really for like one of Bill's upcoming projects. It looked like a film, maybe a TV series, a Netflix series or something, I guess. But it was so loud. I don't even know if I liked it or not, if it was funny, because it hurt. And then the opener came out. Joe Bartnik was his name. His delivery was great for the volume. He just had a very soft spoken, just kind of laid back, not a lot of yelling in his act. So he was fine. The audio was great for him. And overall, he wasn't the funniest guy. He did have one line. I was like, hey, wait a second. I'm starting to feel attacked here. He was talking about, he's like, you guys, I'm a dog guy. Do you guys like dogs? Or, some people are cat guys. I'm a dog guy, and the crowd was more pro dog. And then he said, he's got some friends, these weird guys that have cats. And then this is where it really got personal. I was like, all right, I'm a weird guy with a cat. I can handle that. He's like, yeah, they probably drink Pepsi too. Then I was just like, wait a second. Like, I had got a big laugh out of me. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, wait a second. What's going on with that? Does he mean like, I don't even know. I don't know. But I am a cat guy that drinks Pepsi. And the arena laughed at that. I laughed at it too, but the more I think about it, I'm like, I felt a little bit attacked there. I'm not offended. It's okay. I'll live. But I didn't realize that a Pepsi guy that has cats, is like fodder for a stand up comedian. Hey, it's all right, man. I think he said that his friends, his guy friends with cats, they're just weird. They're weird. They're aloof and weirdos, a lot like their pets. I thought it was a good line. I don't know if I'm aloof or not. I don't even know if I'm a weirdo or not. Maybe a little. Maybe even a little aloof. So anyhow, that was Joe Bartnick's best stuff. And then Bill got off to a rough start. Like Bill will swear, like a lot of times in interviews, podcasts, they'll be like, you're just like an angry Boston guy, or, you're real confrontational. And he acts shocked and is like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. You don't even know. It's like, yes, he is. Because he started, something like the other guy started out he pretty much was like, OH. So he came out to get on our side and is like what a lot of comedians will do. And not that I expected Bill to come out and start kissing ass and to try to win us over. But he comes out and he's very confrontational, man. He just like attacks Ohio State and Ohio people being way too into football. And it just misses a little bit because we know that he's like super into Boston sports and like he's like a crazy maniac sports fan. And not denying that Ohio State football fans are crazy and maniacs, but it'd make more sense if a guy like Theo got up there and was like making fun of Ohio State fans for like their whole life being about football. But I kind of feel like, I don't know, it just didn't make a lot. So it missed a little bit. And then again, it's like, well, here you are, man. You're being a confrontational jerk. And then you're always shocked when people are like, you're kind of a confrontational jerk. It's your style. So, and he did acknowledge, like, and he was like, oh, wow, I'm 3 minutes in and we're already here. It's like, well, you asked for this, and then he blamed it on the crowd. He's like, blame that guy. He asked for it. It's like, no, you kind of did, which I'm sure he's well aware of what he's doing. Maybe it's what gets his juices flowing. He's like, I'm just going to go out there and pick a fight with these people, Maybe that's his whole shtick, I guess. I don't know, though. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I've never seen him live like that. I've seen his specials. but maybe from city to city. He's moving on to like Winston-Salem. Now he'll probably just like, I don't know. I don't know what he'll do down there. And then lots of stuff with the wife. Throughout his career, that has kind of progressed and evolved his relationship. And so it just seemed like there was more of it this time. And then maybe my favorite part of the wife stuff was when most relatable, is she will come up to him with a question that she thinks he's going to say no to. Her whole demeanor's different. Like she's like walking on eggshells and she's really polite and soft spoken. And I was like, Mary definitely does that. When Mary's going to ask me for something and she feels like I'm going to say no or I don't want to do it, she almost is like whispering. I'm like, what? What'd you say? So I definitely could relate to that. He kind of hit that one right on the spot. But then there was a few things that felt a little dated on race and politics, I suppose. Maybe even not dated is the right word, but like maybe I just expected a little more from him because he's a pro. I thought he's one of the best. I just thought maybe he was slightly above some of these jokes. And this wasn't his special. I mean, it is his hour that he's out there on the road with. And there was even a few jokes that he adjusted. Like it didn't get a big laugh. And he's like, oh, wow, that was supposed to be the laugh. And at one point, like my favorite, it did get a huge laugh out of me. But overall, maybe it didn't get the laugh that he was expecting or he had gotten other places. But I think it was, I'm not going to try and do it verbatim, but basically like, men will drop dead. Women don't drop dead a lot. Men do. And the age range where you might just drop dead is like 48 to 61. After 61, you're still going to go, but it's probably going to be agonizing or whatever. It's not going to just be like, bam, 1 second, he's fine. And it didn't get a huge laugh. Like just right when he was like 48 to 61 is the drop dead age. I laughed. That was one of the hardest laughs of the night for me. And then, but they didn't really laugh. So he like adjusted the age. He was like, oh, wow, not here, huh? He was like, okay, 38 to 57 is the drop dead age. And then people laughed harder at that, but they were almost laughing at the audible that he called more so than the actual joke itself. Parts of like maybe, and not that everybody there was from Columbus, but he also seemed a tad out of touch with Columbus. Columbus not like the rest of Ohio necessarily. It's definitely the most liberal city in Ohio, but probably the entire Midwest. It's one of the most liberal cities. And he didn't seem to get, like at one point he even said, like, I don't know why I'm talking to you all like you're a bunch of farmers that want to sleep with your cousin, and it's like, yeah, this is slightly different. Like that might have made a little more sense in Dayton. I won't deny that it gets a little more hillbilly-ish when you get outside of Columbus, no matter what direction you're going. But he seemed to understand it by the time the night was over because he was just like, wow, a lot of this stuff is just not getting the laughs I'm used to getting. And then, I don't know. It ended up, and throughout ever, there's times when I try to watch someone special and I get bored and like 25 minutes in, I've had enough. There was definitely never, ever that point. There was enough consistent laughs throughout. And he kind of jumped, if he was with the wife stuff, he would leave it momentarily only to get back to it. So it wasn't just like 30 straight minutes of the wife stuff. And then, same thing with the political stuff. He came at it from a little bit of a different angle. But then there was still some very just like general comedy things that maybe I would have expected him to not come at it from that angle or just ignore it altogether. Like I said, some of the race stuff seemed a little dated. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is quite nailing it. We're not laughing because we're offended. Like, we're not laughing because it's not quite a great joke, really. I don't know. I thought the drop dead age was a great joke and everybody laughed. I don't even know why I laughed at the Cats and Pepsi from the opener, but. So overall, if he's coming to your town, I see he's got more shows coming up. A lot of them are sold out. And if you've ever decided to not go see comedy in an arena, I would say go for it. If anything, it might be too loud. And that's about it. It was the perfect length for me. It just felt like almost, like we were almost in and out of there. It was like, wow, this was a whole lot for this. But you know me, man, I don't want to sit around for 3, 4, 5 hours. I don't know how I ever made it through an entire UFC event, but you get in there, you sit around for 15, 20 minutes. The opener comes out, then Bill immediately comes out. It's not like a band situation where they got to clear the stage, get these guys' instruments out of the way. It's none of that, man. The opener says his last joke, and then he basically brings Bill out. So it all moved very quickly. It's a nice operation as far as that goes. Getting in and out of the shot was nice. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was with the crowd, though. Maybe so many people not having their phones. I don't know. Maybe they weren't there long enough to get enough drinks in them to get rowdy. Everybody was high. I don't know. It was Columbus, Ohio. So yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. Boom. I thought overall, maybe like compared to some of his other specials, like if his best specials and some of his best bits are like an A, this was maybe like a B minus overall. The show itself was an A. Maybe just like pound for pound, though, the material itself consistently, while good, not his best ever. And this is not the completed special that's going to be recorded to go out for everyone to see. This was, yeah, and he did call some audibles, and boom, we are out of here. I've went on almost 11 minutes. Thank you.